Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 11th of November 2020. So momentum massacre trounces tech stocks, bonds drop and bullion pops. So a quick reversal in the metals markets yesterday. No surprise, they're very strong in the uncertainty that awaits us over the next 10 weeks if Trump doesn't get out of the White House and concede, is going to only get worse. And of course, the vaccination volatility remained yesterday, but as Peter Schiff says here, there is no vaccine for what ails the economy. Absolutely right. We're going to, as I agree with him here actually, I have noticed that the yields are starting to increase in the 10-year, 3-month that I keep a track of. It's starting to increase, and when I see any anomalies in this, I'll add it back into the Market Alert. But he says, I don't think the Federal Reserve is going to sit back and allow yields to rise to that degree. And this is what happened back in September 19 as well, when they shot up to 10% on the overnight, which of course then created the 75 billion a night that they were printing. Because we had a problem in the repo market was blowing up, this is big trouble for the whole financial system. And it was, and that's the bizarre thing, because obviously in March, they printed 6.2 trillion, only reported 2.2 trillion in the media, and the other 4 trillion went to add liquidity to the banks, including the central banks, with US dollars. It's documented in another Market Alert. And also, as I've spoken about on the short sides at the moment, you've got to be careful because of any news coming out, and you can see that on Monday, the vaccine rally left a lot of short sellers nursing 390 million in losses, particular hedge funds, obviously. And it makes you wonder whether this was just held back until they knew that Biden was potentially president-elect or had won the election, not releasing this information under Trump's presidency. But causing carnage to a lot of traders. Well, make sure you've got a stop in if you are short because of the volatility. And speaking of which, the volatility has dropped, but this is more of the bigger picture of the market. And if the volatility drops, it means that the market is bullish. And that is because it's the implied volatility. Two sets of volatility. There is the volatility in the price change, and then there is the implied volatility, which is a component of the options premium that the option sellers will add in to cover any potential risk. And when this gets low or heads down to the lows, this leaves the underlying market free to move to the upside, which is what we're seeing at the moment, and why I color code it just to make it easier to see that at the moment we've got the low volatility there, which means that the market is bullish and heading back to those all-time highs that we can see over here before the market moved lower in March when the virus became real. So interesting day yesterday. In the pre-market session, the move was made. When the futures market opened, we can see that prices moved over 150 points before they stopped, and then the market found resistance, as you'll see here, trading back up to the high where there was some selling before. And then you'll see there, I actually drew this in 13,129, and then I did a quick short down from here because of the selling that was there. And once we got down to the BRN, you will see that the volume in this bar is greater than the selling in the previous bar, and the range is narrower. It's sitting on the BRN, and that's a case of thank you very much for the profits. And then you'll see prices reverse nearly 50 points in one bar as they are brought back to the resistance that I had drawn in earlier. And again, as prices started to show their potential weakness, I had a look in the daily chart, see where we were. And again, we've got some selling in this bar. You can see it's increasing there but not going through, and picked up another short there. These are new signals that I'm working on, by the way. These are not just sort of making haphazard trades. It's a case of seeing what's going on and trying to formulate the code to try and add these in. So once again, the market trades down to this level. to where we had before. The level here, sorry, is what I meant. So I'll just draw that in for you. So we've got a reference. And then again, prices started to find support. Got a tiny bar there, and the volume is at least 80% of the previous bar. So again, a clue that there's some buying coming into the market. Prices then trade sideways and will start to move back to the upside, which you'll see in a moment. So they consolidate, and we've noticed that prices around 8:30 to 9 a.m. seem to go quiet and consolidate at the moment. We had a potential buy signal. This was then given to a sell signal, which immediately failed. Again, you can see that the buying back in here, again, it's 75-80% of the previous bar, and it's reversed immediately. So then we have to switch, which we do, and then prices trade sideways for a bit, and then they continue to move to the upside. We had some potential weakness here with these two up thrusts, where there was a bit of profit taking in the market, and then prices broke through, and that was as far as they were going. They got to the BRN, and again at this stage you just watch the volume. There's 51 points on the table, and you can see that we've got some selling in this bar again, because the volume has just breached the average, coming off the highs there as well. So that was a good trade back to the upside. And then things went pear-shaped. Volatility changed all of a sudden, kicked in, trying to get direction. We had the market put in another potential sell, and this immediately reversed again. We got the same thing again, where prices then failed on the short side because they didn't want the market down. However, before they could move it higher, they wanted to shake out on the downside, so they shook out to the downside just below the BRN, which is ironic because when we had the sell signal, they couldn't break the BRN, and then brought it back, filled the other side, and then decided to shake out. And then, of course, as soon as they did this, the market started to move higher. But take note of this. This started to happen an awful lot, and particularly in the afternoon yesterday as well. You get very choppy, quite big swings. I mean, you get choppiness here, but that's just consolidation. But here you've got these straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, as if there's a battle going on there before they can move prices higher, and then back to the resistance again just before we have the cutoff. But again, you can see these up and downs, which I think we're going to see quite a few of in the next few days, until they've really digested this vaccine news that they had on Monday. So again, you can see this in the pre-market. Now, I didn't trade yesterday afternoon because I'm a trustee of a late relative's estate. So I was in a Zoom meeting, but I was watching the market just in case there was something. But as you'll see here, as I don't know if this happened to anybody else, the market opened, traded up, and then just at this point, you'll see the market stopped. I'm actually moving the timeline here, and you'll see it kick back in a minute. So while I was busy in the meeting, nothing was happening, and I thought, well, this is really strange. I'm going to have to go a bit faster here because we're getting nothing moving. There we go. So hang on, that's what I was after. So yeah, you'll see prices kick back in after several minutes of sitting there. Prices then kick back in, and you can see it's not drawing on the chart properly because we'd lost the connection there between the two. So I reload the price charts, and you can see there in the 1 minute that prices had turned around and moved back to the upside there. So you can see here they created this gap and moved to the upside. So any signal after this wasn't going to be valid because we'd lost the data. So even though we had the short signal on here, winner or loser, it would have made no difference because we'd lost the calculation of all of the ticks coming in on this trade. And again, you've got that sideways. See that sharp up and down? You know, it's nearly 30 odd point range where these bars are moving up and down in, and then again eventually they break to the upside there. So just as a matter of caution, be careful about if you get this situation where prices have stopped, then it's going to take a moment or two before we can start using at least 20 bars before you can start using the or trading off the signals again to bring them back to how they should be. So the rest of the afternoon, the market just drifted all the way back after you saw this potential weakness here. You can see there, very high volume, trading back up to the highs to the left there as well. So let's have a look, see what the market's done overnight, because that was the conclusion to yesterday afternoon's trade. So let's see where we are in the daily chart for the DAX. Get rid of these. We can get rid of all of these as well at the moment. And let's bring this down here so we can see where we are. So this is where we're heading for, 13,463. That isn't the all-time high though, is it? Let's just have a look at in the weekly chart. 13,827 is the all-time high, but we've got these few to get through en route to the all-time high. So let's have a look at the daily again. So we're at the moment we're through the 181, and the next upside target is 463, and it's still looking bullish at the moment. No doubt when the futures open at 7 a.m. we'll be able to confirm that or not. But the moment overnight prices off the DP, hugging the 200 MA through there, and then obviously starting to move as I record. It's currently 20 minutes to 7. So the DAX futures already, store the electronic without the futures, is starting to move to the upside, looking towards yesterday's high. There's the DP level, and you'll see if we just compress this a bit more, where we are in the bigger picture there. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Dow. This too is still marching to the upside. The weekly chart, we are through the all-time high for yesterday by the looks of things. Let's just confirm this. Yeah, we are through the all-time high for the Dow there. So we've got a new all-time high in the Dow, which is incredible when you think back to March when we had the sell-off. The market has managed to come back, lose 60 million jobs, create a massive uncertainty, potential second wave and of the virus, and more to come, and yet the market has gone all the way back to these highs. So anybody who wants to say there's no manipulation, just have a look at these charts, because it's blatant and plain to see, isn't it? Let's have a look at a quick look at the precious metals markets. These moving back to the upside. They certainly gave it a slam. I meant to look at this yesterday and I forgot. Certainly slammed it on Tuesday. We can see prices moving lower, and then you see that there, and now we're starting to bounce back. And there is a lot of strength in these markets, even though you get some big shakeouts in silver. They do tend to return to the upside there, which we're seeing there at the moment, and still profits on this trade. Let's have a look. There you go. So we're still profits all the way, just out a bit on one trade, but otherwise still making profits on the long-term trade of the precious metals markets. Okay, that will do it for this one. I don't think there's anything else to report apart from a quick look at the news. Today is Armistice Day, and this means that it's a French bank holiday. Lagarde speaking at 1 p.m. just before the Dow opens, and we've got bank holiday for the US as well. So the bonds will be closed today, but the Dow will still be open, and the same for the French. It's Veterans Day, as they call it in the US. Okay, that will do it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next.